Okay guys, in this video we're going to look at multiplying and dividing negative integers as well as positive ones. So our goal is to multiply and divide positive integers, and success criteria to develop a strategy. So remembering how to do your multiplication and division with your positive and negative numbers. So if we look back, remember integers are both positive and negative numbers, like the whole numbers, so our counting ones, including 0. So if we look at what you already know about multiplication and division with positive numbers, we take the two numbers and we actually do the multiplication operation. So 3 times 4 is 12, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. But it's a similar concept with negative numbers. However, you just got to keep an eye on the amount of signs. So what we can do is, if we have just two numbers, if we are multiplying and we have a positive and a positive, the answer is going to be positive, as seen here. If the one number is positive and negative, the answer will be a negative. That's positive. And if obviously, if you went the other way, it'd still be a negative. And if you had two negatives, it was going to be a positive. So that's just to keep in mind. I'll talk more about when you have these ones here in a moment. So we treat it like a normal multiplication, and then you just count the signs to decide whether you need to make it a positive or a negative number. So 5 times 2 is 10. There's one negative, so becomes a negative 10. 4 times 6 is 24. Count your signs. 1, 2 becomes a positive. Don't need to do anything else. 10 divided by 2 is 5. One negative there, so it becomes a negative 5. Now this one here is a little bit different. So, it's already actually been given to you. Sorry. Negative 20 divided by negative 5 is 4. Because there's two negatives, it becomes a positive. So this also applies for division. So division plus positive, negative and positive equals a negative, and two negatives equals a positive. Okay, and then this one here is, now let's have a think about this. If we did it in different ways, like a different operation, in two separate things, like steps. If I had just these two guys here, or these two numbers here, 2 times 2 is 4, that becomes negative 4, and what I'm left with is this one here times negative 2. Then I would multiply those two numbers together is 8. Two negatives becomes a positive. What you might allude to if you did more of these, so like 3 times negative 2 times negative 3, is that we have 3 times 2 is negative 6 times negative 3 is going to be 18. Two negatives becomes a positive. We go say we went all three as negatives, that becomes positive 6 multiplied by negative 3 becomes negative 18. What you might start to realize is that if you have an odd number of negatives, you will have a negative answer, and if you have an even number of negatives, you'll get a positive answer. So that's one of the strategies, developing a strategy. So that's one of the strategies I use when you count signs. And when I say signs, we're looking for the positives and negatives. So if you have, with your negatives, if you have an odd number, your answer will be negative. If you have the even number, your answer is going to be positive. So that is how you can use a strategy to remember. Now it's your turn to have a go in your exercises here. Short and sweet. Hope it goes well, guys. Thanks. Bye.